Greetings. Today we will visit an interesting site along the Ohio River in the village of Newburgh, Indiana, a couple of miles east of Angel Mounds in Evansville. Before getting started, I would encourage you to subscribe to the Mossy Feet Books YouTube channel for more great content. If you like my videos, please hit the like button. The more likes I get, the more YouTube will show it to other people, allowing me to grow the channel. I also entreat you to visit my website, www.mossyfeetbooks.com. There you will find sample chapters, podcasts, a slew of content, and links to where you can buy my books. While visiting the website, you subscribe to it and receive email notifications of when I publish a new book or other content like this video and podcast. The podcast is based on my book, Southwest Indiana Road Trips. If you like what I'm doing, please purchase a book as it helps fund my work. The text of the marker: the first town north of Mason-Dixon line to be captured by Confederate forces during the war between the states. Brigadier General Adam R. Johnson, with a guerrilla band, crossed the Ohio River and confiscated supplies and ammunition without firing a shot. The location of the marker is just off of Indiana State Road 662 in the town of Newburgh, about 2.7 miles past Angel Mounds State Park. It is on Water Street, which is south of the highway, between the highway and the Ohio River. In a precursor to Hines' raid and Morgan's raid, Confederate Colonel Adam Rankin Johnson captured the town of Newburgh, Indiana, using 2 Quaker guns as a ruse to subdue the town, and his nickname Stovepipe Johnson. Adam Rankin Johnson lived from February the 6th, 1834 until October the 20th, 1922. The son of Thomas J. and Juliet Rankin Thompson, Adam was a native of Henderson, Kentucky. He started working at a local drugstore at the age of 12, then migrated to Texas to become a surveyor and a noted Indian fighter. When the Civil War broke out, he returned to Kentucky, raising his 10th Kentucky Partisan Rangers there. The unit specialized in operating deep behind Union lines, harassing supply depots, and attacking isolated garrisons of Union troops. After his July 16, 1862 raid on Newburgh, he accompanied Brigadier General John Hunt Morgan's raid through southern Indiana. A gunfiring incident blinded him, causing his capture by Union troops in 1864. Most of the remainder of the war he spent as a prisoner. He would later found the town of Marble Falls, Texas, also known as Blind Man's Town. Quaker guns were fake cannon constructed to fool an enemy. The first known use was Colonel William Washington's use of a wine log configured to resemble a cannon during the Revolutionary War. The trick worked, fooling several Loyalist troops holed up in a barn into surrendering. The gun's name, Quaker Guns, refers to the pacifist stance of Quakers in committing no violence. Newburgh is just east of Evansville on the Ohio River. The town was almost undefended, with about 80 Union troops there in various stages of recovering from war wounds. Their guns were stored in an unguarded warehouse on the riverfront. The commander of the Union troops, Union Bethel, had little support from the state of Indiana, receiving little in the way of aid for training his troops or weaponry. He, like many others in the town, were eating lunch when Johnson launched his noonday raid. Coincidentally, the telegraph line that connected Newburgh to the outside world was also inoperative. Johnson had heard about the unprotected guns and the medical supplies at the hospital where the Union troops were recovering. He wanted the guns and the supplies badly needed by his Confederates. Prior to launching his expedition across the Ohio River, Johnson had 2 Quaker guns constructed using stovepipes and blackened logs. He positioned his artillery on a bluff on the river overlooking Newburgh. Around noon, he and about 35 soldiers boarded a flatboat and a rowboat and crossed the Ohio River. Landing unopposed, the raiders confiscated the supplies they needed. Commander Bethel, hearing of the incursion, rushed out to confront the Confederates. Johnson pointed across the river at the quote, cannon, unquote, causing Bethel to capitulate. The raid lasted about 5 hours, during which time Johnson took many of the things he needed. Since the telegraph was out of order, Bethel was unable to summon nearby Union troops. Johnson and his men departed Newburgh, successfully evading Union capture. He had captured the first town north of the Mason-Dixon line without firing a shot. The raid harmed the Confederate cause more than it helped. Recruiting in Indiana shot up substantially, and Governor Morton was able to raise more money for defense. A year later, Morgan would launch his famous raid in spite of these improvements. This episode is based on my book, Southwest Indiana Road Trips, available on the website www.mossyfeetbooks.com. The book is the first book in the 9-volume Road Trip Indiana series. The books include all the historical markers as of 2022 in Indiana with the text and backstory. The books also include a nearly complete listing of virtually every tourism destination in the state. The destinations include parks, museums, drive-in theaters, bowling alleys, wineries, and much, much more. I encourage you to visit the website and subscribe to it. You can find my books locally at the Ron Weber Marketplace in downtown Batesville, Indiana. I hope you enjoyed this podcast.